Hey guys, before you go buying a shed from Lowe's or Home Depot or any of these places, or buying a kit to assemble yourself, I want you to watch this video. I just want you to know that there's other options out there, and as a woodworker myself, I'm telling you, sheds are very easy. They don't have to be overcomplicated, and you're going to sacrifice quality if you buy a shed, like I said, a kit from any one of these types of stores. And I want to show you my shed here. Now, I didn't build this myself, thankfully. This is probably, it's a standard size shed. It's probably an 8x10, but you're gonna see already, just by looking at this thing, see this giant gap here in the door? I mean, I can practically fit my hand through there, and the farther down we go, the more, the wider the gap is. And when you look at this, if you were just to look at the angles, everything looks level, everything looks okay. But it's like, then you realize there's this massive inch and a half towards the bottom gap just right in there. That's all from bad measurements and bad execution on assembly. Then you go into the shed, and again, it's not terrible. This really isn't a terrible shed, okay? But then you look at up here, you can totally see the roofing paper because they didn't measure the boards correctly. And yeah, they just kind of built a crappy shed. Now there's stuff like that all over this thing. You got gaps up here kind of in the roof. The foundation just wasn't done right. And again, I moved into this house. I don't know if the previous homeowner built this or if he bought a kit. I think this is probably a kit that maybe he assembled. But you are definitely sacrificing quality. I mean, the wood, even the structural pieces for the shed, they're not great in these kits, okay? They are trying to profit off of this. So here's my suggestion. There are some excellent companies. In fact, I'm going to post a link down below of one in particular that I like, that will provide you with step-by-step plans for the shed. Now, some of you are thinking, well, that's going to cost you a different thing. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you effort. You're going to have to buy some tools. Hold up there. Hold your horses now. Look, first of all, with time, the way that these plans are done, again, click on the link below. The way this guy does these plans, it's basically like a Lego set, okay? It's step by step by step. They're done by CAD drawings, so you can literally see every angle of every step of his shed designs. So literally, if you can put together a Lego set, you can put together a shed. This would probably even be a little simpler, especially if it's just a generic shed like this, but this guy's got thousands that you can purchase in one go. Now, the other thing is with tooling, there's not a lot of finish work that goes into shed making. You're talking about power drills, hammers, nails, screws. You might need a level and a ladder, but truly, even down to saws, like you really don't need a saw. All this lumber he's going to give you in these shed designs, he's going to give you the exact measurements for every single piece and every single item you need. So all you do when picking up the lumber, because really all shed is wood typically, right, minus the shingles up top and the foundation below, you find those pieces, he lists them out perfectly, you have them at Home Depot or Lowe's cut them. They've got those sections where they cut the pieces themselves. You give them the pieces, they cut them, you bring them back, you put the thing together. Simple. This is what I recommend every single time I'm talking with friends and family about shed construction. Getting the plans is the way to go. And I'm going to tell you another thing. As far as price, you're not just saving money, you're saving a lot of money. Okay, we're talking at least 60%. Because the labor's being done by you. We're talking about a day. I mean, these things, again, there's not a lot of finish work. You look at any shed. I'm going to show you the shed again. There's not a whole lot going on here, guys. Truly. This is easy stuff. We're talking about some trusses. We're talking about some structural pieces. Floor is straight up, I mean, particle board in some cases. I mean, also you can control the quality. I mean, I just pointed out that this is a pretty cheap kit as far as wood goes. But if you do it yourself and using these plans, you can pick the wood, the structure, whatever you want to do, it's all laid out for you. And again, this is what I suggest. There's just really not much to this. There's not a lot of finish work going on. You obviously can if you want to, but most people don't. I mean, the shed's where you keep your tools and your outside equipment, such as a lawnmower. So I wouldn't recommend making it overly complicated. But again, you purchase a good set of plans. It lays out every bit of the instructions. You do it for 60% less than if you bought a kit that could show up in terrible quality. So now you've just paid thousands of dollars for something that kind of sucks. Not how I'd recommend getting that done, because a shed, this thing's going to last hopefully a good amount of time, as long as you're in the home, right? You don't want to have to redo a shed every 2 to 5 years. You want this thing to last. So again, good set of plans, all laid out for you. You don't have to think too hard about it. It's that simple. That's the recommendation. Comment in the section below.